Today we will be showing you how to replace the gripper in a non-high availability or non-HA version of the IBM 3584 tape library. The non-HA version of the 3584 has only a single accessor installed, so this replacement will require downtime and should be scheduled with the system administrator. All backup jobs should be completely stopped before continuing with this video. In order to tell if your library is high availability, you will need to locate the front operator panel of the library. If the operator panel is located on the leftmost frame, this is not an HA library and you can keep watching from here. If the operator panel is located in the second frame in from the left side, this is an HA library and you should switch to our video on how to replace the gripper in an HA 3584. First, we need to explain exactly what accessors and grippers are for the purposes of this video. An accessor is the masked assembly that moves the grippers back and forth inside the library. The gripper itself is the plastic hand that removes and inserts tapes into both the slots and drives inside the library. There are always 2 grippers per accessor. There are 3 different gripper types for this library. They are old-style LTO, universal, and high density. The old-style LTO is very rare and we do not sell it on the Rocket Platform website. If you have one of these style grippers and need support, please contact us directly at support@therocketplatform.com. For this replacement, we will be showing you how to do it using a high density or HD style gripper, but the procedure is the same for the universal gripper as well. To tell the difference between universal and HD grippers, you only have to look at the bottom of the gripper where the tape slides in. The universal gripper will have a smooth bottom, while the HD gripper will have a grooved bottom. The first thing you will need to do is identify which gripper you need to replace. The first way you will try and do this is through the front panel. To do this, hit Menu and then Library Status and then Accessor Status. You will see listed the accessor and the 2 grippers within the accessor along with their statuses. A gripper with an error will display that status next to it. Every accessor will have both a top and bottom gripper. These are grippers 1 and 2 respectively. If there is physical damage to your gripper, but it is not being reported as an electronic failure to the system, you will need to pause the library and open the doors and locate the broken gripper to determine if it is the top or bottom gripper. To do this, hit the pause button on the front panel. Hit Enter to confirm, and it will move the accessor to its home position, which is the first frame all the way to the left. The front panel will then tell you that you have 30 seconds to open a door before the library resumes operation. Once you have unlocked and opened any of the front doors, the library will stay in pause mode until all doors have been closed and locked. Please note, when you locate the failed gripper inside the machine, if it is stuck on a tape drive or a magazine inside the library, stop immediately and contact us at support@therocketplatform.com. Continuing with this replacement without consulting with us first could result in catastrophic issues occurring with your replacement gripper. Furthermore, if your gripper has been physically broken, you will need to locate all pieces of the gripper before continuing. Due to the nature of the construction of the grippers, when they break, the pieces have a tendency to end up all over the inside of the machine. You will need to locate all of these pieces before continuing, or you will risk further damage to the rest of your library. Once you have located the failed gripper either through the front panel or through finding the gripper manually, you will now need to put the library in service mode. Ensure all doors are closed and locked and the library is back in a ready state. Then hit Menu, Service, and then FRU replacement, and then prepare for accessor service. The library will move the accessor to the home position and prepare it for service. Now you can unlock and open the door where the accessor is located. You can pull the gripper cage up to approximately waist height and you will see what is called a convenience hole located in the accessor mast. Take a large screwdriver and put it through the hole underneath the gripper cage, and then carefully lower the gripper cage down until the screwdriver is holding the gripper cage from sliding down any further. Please be advised, at this point, if you need to replace the lower gripper, you will need to still remove the upper gripper first. Please do not attempt to only remove the lower gripper without removing the upper gripper first, as this could result in catastrophic damage to the gripper and void your warranty. To start, you will need to unhook the front sensor from the top gripper. Then, you will turn the entire gripper cage to the right and locate the motor plug for the top gripper and unplug that as well. Then, while still having the gripper cage turned to this side, locate the blue slide lock that secures the gripper into the gripper cage and slide it backwards until it clicks. Now you can rotate the gripper cage around to the opposite side and locate the blue slide lock on the other side and slide it backwards as well until it clicks. Now you are ready to unhook and remove the top gripper assembly. To do this, locate the two release tabs that hold the gripper in place in the gripper frame. They are located right next to the two blue slide lock mechanisms. Once you have located these, you are going to gently push them inwards at the same time, and while you are doing this, you can pull up on the front of the gripper and it should release from the gripper frame. Then you can carefully pull the gripper straight back and out of the gripper frame and set it to the side. Now, if you are replacing this top gripper, you can skip ahead to the reinstallation of the top gripper. If you need to replace the bottom gripper, please keep watching from here. To remove the bottom gripper, you will start by performing the same first few steps as the top gripper. Undo the front sensor and then slide motor along with the first blue slide lock. Then, while you are still on the first side, you also need to undo the calibration sensor from the gripper frame and then slide the calibration sensor forward and off the bottom gripper and set it to the side to be reinstalled on the replacement. Then, you can spin the gripper cage around and undo the blue slide lock on the second side, and then proceed to locate the release tabs and carefully push them inward and remove the gripper from the gripper cage. To reinstall the bottom gripper, line it up carefully and slide it into the gripper cage, ensuring that you get the guide pin to slide into the hole at the rear of the gripper cage. Then you can gently push down on the front of the gripper while having the release tabs pushed in slightly, and the gripper will click into place. Slide both blue locks forward to lock the gripper in place in the frame and check to ensure that it is secure. Now, take the calibration sensor and slide it onto the top of the gripper and plug it into the gripper cage. Then plug in both the motor and front sensor for the lower gripper and ensure all cables are routed correctly. Now you are ready to install the top gripper. Carefully slide the top gripper in place, ensuring that the guide pin on the back of the gripper slides into the hole on the back of the gripper cage. Then gently push down on the front of the gripper while pushing the release tabs in slightly until you feel the gripper click into place. You can then slide both blue slide locks forward to lock the gripper into the gripper cage. Check to ensure that the gripper is completely secure in the cage before proceeding. Now you can plug in both the front sensor and the motor to the top gripper and ensure all cables are routed correctly. Then carefully lift up on the gripper cage while holding the screwdriver so it doesn't fall out of the convenience hole. Remove the screwdriver and let the gripper cage slide down to the bottom of the accessor mast. Close and lock all doors and return to the front panel. Hit Enter on the front panel and then hit Finish Accessor Service. You will now need to wait a few minutes while the library turns power back onto the accessor and grippers. It will then ask if any hardware for the accessor was replaced. You then need to hit Yes and select all of the hardware that you replaced on the accessor. To do this, hit the Enter button to move down to each component that you replaced, and then when that component is highlighted, hit the Up button to change the status from Not Replaced to Replaced. When all items have been selected, hit Enter to get down to the bottom where it says Commit Changes and hit Enter. Then hit Enter again to bring the library back online. Now you will need to calibrate the accessor. To do this, hit the back button once and then hit Calibration and then Calibrate Accessor. This should take approximately 3 to 5 minutes to complete. Now, if you had a stuck tape in the faulty gripper, or if it was hung up in a specific location, you will need to also calibrate the frame that the gripper had the issue in. Hit Enter when the accessor calibration is complete, go to Calibrate Frame, and then pick the frame number that needs to be calibrated using the up and down arrows and hit Enter. The accessor will now calibrate that specific frame to ensure correct operation with the replaced gripper. Once all calibrations are complete, the last thing you will need to do is perform a library verification. To do this, from the main menu go into Service and then Library Verify. When it asks if you want to include the I/O station, select No. Then when it asks if you want to include drives, again hit No. Then the verification will begin, and there will be prompts on the screen that you will need to follow before the verification will run. Once the verification starts, you will hear the accessor moving throughout the library. When the verification is complete, the gripper replacement is done and the library can be put back into production. If you are having any issues with your gripper replacement, please contact us directly. If your machine is subscribed to Rocket Plus, please open a ticket through your Rocket Plus customer portal. If not, we may still be able to help you. Please contact us at support@therocketplatform.com and we will respond as quickly as possible. Thanks for watching. This has been another video by the Top 10 USA Video Production Team. We look forward to sharing more content with you going forward, so please check out our YouTube channel and please subscribe so that you get notified whenever we release a new piece of content.